So the impacts from that night, they are wide-ranging in our community, including new gun laws passed. Our Will Silverstein joins us live from the live desk with more on that side of the story. Will?
Well, Dana, we saw a response from state government to pass legislation. How could you not? Assembly Bill 291 issued a bump stock ban, child prevention law, and a red flag law. The country would also issue a nationwide ban on bump stocks and universal background checks. They were eventually required in Nevada as well. But after a Supreme Court case was decided last year, 1 October's impact waned as around several parts of the country, despite being engraved forever with the people of Nevada.
People need guns for protection. If you don't have one, how do you protect yourself?
Longtime North Las Vegas resident and gun owner Larry Templeton still has his guns following the 1 October massacre.
Yes, I do, but they're locked up. I keep them locked up. I don't want any problems.
If a lot of people will take counseling, really get the mental health under control, the guns is not the problem. It really isn't.
For many people like Latasha Fobbs, the mass shooting was an important milestone to make sure those in need of mental health care seek treatment, not weapons.
People don't need to be embarrassed about getting mental health. Don't need to be embarrassed about if they have to take depression pills or whatever. They shouldn't be embarrassed about that. A lot of people need to get mental health. It's not the guns, it's the people.
With respect to gun law, in some ways, a lot has changed, and in some, nothing has changed.
While the way people in Clark County like Fobbs and Templeton think about gun safety and mental health, former ATF agent and UNLV law professor Thomas Chittum says the courts have said otherwise. Notably, then President Donald Trump led a bump stock ban that took effect nationwide. That ban in response to the 1 October gunman's use of bump stocks to fire off more ammunition and cause more devastation than he otherwise would without the modification. Despite Nevada legislators making it a law banning bump stocks in the Silver State, the nationwide ban on bump stocks was overturned.
Most people think that machine guns' defining characteristic is how fast they fire. But legally speaking, machine guns are defined by the mechanics of how they fire. That really was the crux of the issue with the bump stock ban.
The state law still exists, making it illegal to possess a bump stock, but due to the nationwide ban, just 18 states, including Nevada, have a bump stock ban in place. But Chittum says the profound impact from the 1 October massacre and the more recent killing of UNLV professors keeps Nevada residents aware of the difficult issues still present with firearms in the state.
Vegas still embraces its Wild West roots. If you want to go and shoot a machine gun for your bachelorette party, Vegas is the place you can do it. But it also knows better than most cities the social harms that guns in the wrong hands can cause.
And for many Nevadans, that has been addressed not only with the bump stock ban, but with legislation mandating universal background checks and the creation of a red flag law, a law that allows family and law enforcement to trigger a court-ordered emergency response to remove firearms if the person in question is a harm to themselves or others. It has the support of gun owner Larry Templeton.
I think they should know that you do own a gun.
Everybody should be reported, not just family members.
All right, you hear what Latasha says there. Nevada, only family and law enforcement can trigger one of those red flag laws and those responses.
Yeah, I think a lot of people watching tonight believe that those red flag laws are universal across our country, but far from it, right, Will?
Far from it. Less than half of the 50 states, and specifically when we look at California, the differences between the two. In fact, we touched on this, unfortunately, we did earlier this week. We were talking about Michigan and North Carolina in response to those attacks over the weekend. There are certain things that make these states a little bit different. For California, that could be a coworker, a roommate, in addition to that family member who can trigger that response. In Nevada, it is just the family member.
Okay, Will, thank you. We do know this. Red flag laws becoming more and more prevalent across our country. However, just 21 states have them. They include the entire West Coast, all of those states in red, California, Oregon, Washington, some scattered in the Midwest and the Northeast as well. We spoke with a former federal prosecutor who describes the process of what happens after a red flag response.
When there's a report and someone files that petition with the judge for a temporary period can order someone not to possess firearms. Each state is different, but it's usually a week to 2 weeks, and then that hearing takes place, in which case, essentially a mini trial happens, and the judge needs to make a determination whether someone is a danger to others or themselves and takes them away for a more permanent period of time. But there is that window for an order to be granted on a temporary basis without the individual even being involved if law enforcement or family members go and they make a compelling case.
Earlier this year, Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford announced specific training for law enforcement to better respond to red flag related court orders.